My first memory of seeing spirit is, I think I was about 3 or 4, and I saw energy particles. I was sitting in my bed, I was a little girl, and I remember seeing energy particles in the air and watching them almost like a kaleidoscope of colours. And the energy was changing and moving and shifting, and I was mesmerised by them. And the colours kept changing, and there was purples and blues and pinks, and I remember almost feeling as if there was a vibrancy or a life to it. And even though I was only little, as I said, I was about 3 or 4, I do feel that there was some, I knew I was experiencing something that was living, that was alive, and there was just such a feeling of love emanating from that force. And then I began to see shapes as I got older and see faces. And I just thought that was absolutely perfectly natural. And it wasn't really till I started school that I realized, not everybody felt the way I felt, and everything was quite linear and black and white, and this is what we were supposed to believe. And so I shut down for quite a lot, and it really began to open up again in my teenage years. And in my teenage years, then I really began to see faces, hear names, etc. But I never did anything about it because, again, I was afraid I would appear to be crazy, or that people would, immediately assume the worst. And so when I hit my 20s, I really at this point was like, I need to find out if what I have is an ability, or I need to check myself in somewhere. And that's when I went to England and I studied with mediums abroad, and the journey really began and the validation began. And so I remember getting names and passing conditions to complete utter strangers, that there was no way, I'd never met these people before, and I was able to give them names, passing conditions, connections to their loved ones in spirit, and even their personalities. And that for me was a really kind of a landmark moment in my life, because then I realized this is what I want to do, and it's who I am. And it was almost a watershed moment for me that I realized, this is my path.